That's not why I'm here, though, Mr. President. We are in the midst of a global food difficulties. You've been seeing on television, and it's a result of decades of misguided environmental and energy policies. As worldwide food availability decreases and prices continue to skyrocket. Decades of ill-conceived planning by politicians and bureaucrats right here in Washington, afraid of expanding our energy supplies, are now bearing ugly fruit. American families and the international community continue to suffer from these misguided policies, and Washington's got to take the first step to begin to address these problems. Now, I think we know that what the problem is right now. We have mandated certain things to take place in terms of our fuels. It's had a result in increasing the price of fuels, but it's had another unintended consequences, and that is it's diverting the use of coal, of corn, to go to fuel as opposed to food. Now, I'm here today to demand two dramatic and necessary actions to help mitigate our current biofuel policy blunder. I've always supported all forms of energy, including biofuels, for a diverse and stable energy mix. But current policy has skewed common sense and violated the principles of a sound energy policy. These effects are being felt in my home state of Oklahoma, where I'm hearing concerns regarding ethanol. Scott DeWald of the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association described just one aspect of the biofuels' unintended consequences on April 28th. He said, quote, cow-calf producers all the way to the feeding sector are feeling the pinch of high corn prices. Today's biofuel policies have completely ignored the cost of livestock sector, unquote. Now, first, Congress has got to revisit the recently enacted biofuel mandate, which can only be described as the most expansive biofuel mandate in our nation's history. The mandates were a part of last year's, it was last December, it was taken up, the Energy and Independence and Security Act of 2007. Congress has got to have the courage to address this issue and to address it now, to recognize that we made a mistake in December. Second, the EPA, and this is something that people are not aware of, even though this is mandated, the EPA has the congressional given authority to waive all or portions of these food-to-fuel mandates as part of its rulemaking process. The EPA has got to thoroughly review all the options to alleviate the food and fuel disruption of the 2007 energy bill. A lot of people don't realize and didn't think at the time. They thought, well, this is going to be very helpful to the corn states. We all want to help the corn states. My state of Oklahoma also grows corn. But they didn't think about the unintended consequences on the cost of all fuel and everything that you see on the shelves in the grocery store. Last summer, when I offered an amendment to the energy bill that would have put in place a stocks-to-use mechanism to provide the EPA administrator more flexibility and waiver authority in the instance of crop shortages, I was told by the majority whip that my amendment was not necessary. Incidentally, the Hill newspaper reported yesterday that the same majority whip who said my amendment was not necessary now acknowledges that, quote, U.S. ethanol policies may be partly to blame for a global food crisis threatening to leave millions hungry, unquote.